I wonder if it'll keep us on the same. All right.
No, it looks like it's starting a new stream.
All right, we're back.
Uh,
Apparently,
okay, yep,
apparently
we're
YouTube does.
back.
Apparently, YouTube hates it when you speak the truth.
Well, duh. So we'll have to choose our words very carefully. Speaking code,
I guess so. But anyway, so
we got Captain Asshat and Lieutenant Fatfuck on the prosecution side.
LFF. So I mean, it just doesn't make any sense for the name change, the title name to change if it's going to a non-Apple product.
Well, no, what it is it only changes when it's going to an Apple product. But when he sent it to them, it sent because Apple does. Okay, so
Because the way you made it
Apple.
sound like it's when you're airdropping to an
No, no,
Apple phone
no,
is what it
no.
changes to.
When you're airdropping, it's fine. When the Apple device is downloading it from an outside source, i.e., an email, it will automatically convert it.
Okay, so the guy, the detective or whoever it was, whoever gave them the file, actually airdropped it to his iPhone, and then he saved it to his computer. So I don't know. Maybe that does make sense. And he
I'm
sent it
chalking.
he sent it
Oh,
to
go
the
ahead.
prosecute or he sent it to the defense via email,
Right,
right?
but he emailed it from his phone.
Yeah, which is like, and
Well,
they
in
even
this
said in the defense, they said that we actually use Dropbox,
correct,
and they're
but
like, why didn't you
he
just
was
send it there?
saying, well, he was saying this bullshit about how he didn't have access to his computer, and it's like, okay, but here's the thing: I'm not saying that was nefarious. I think that was pure just. I'm not going to say stupidity, just ignorance.
Hmm.
So I actually had an idea because a lot of the problems in this case have been over technology, and so I find it more than a little concerning that at certain points they're still debating on whether or not to admit something into evidence because they can't authenticate it, and one of the quote forensic experts cannot even tell you how the software he used works.
And supposedly they use that in cases to convict people, and I'm like, and you
So
can't tell
here's
us.
here's my thought: if I'm a defense law officer, like if
Prosecutor.
I'm a defense no no if I'm a defense attorney, I'm hiring tech experts because that shit will win cases. If there's even reasonable doubt, like to me, I'm like, well,
Well, they
because in a
have to
criminal
explain it
case,
to
the
an
bird
80-year-old judge, though.
that's fine. But
That's not the
here's the
easiest
thing,
thing to do.
and actually, and well, so the only thing the defense has to do is cast out because in a criminal case, the burden of proof is on the prosecutor. If there's reasonable doubt, then and in this case, there is reasonable doubt. And here's the thing: this annoyed the shit out of me. The prosecution is arguing tooth and nail to try to get this specific video into evidence,
Yeah.
but then they're saying it's like the eighth in line, and I'm over here like, well, if it's not that important, why are you fighting so hard? If it's the same as all the other videos, then why are you fighting? Like, why are you risking the case to try to get this video in? That tells me that you fucked with it.
Ben Shapiro made a good point about why they got a certain type of file versus what they received was because it was blurry and they couldn't tell, and so therefore they couldn't come up with an argument against it.
Right. And I get that, but what I'm saying is like when the validity of that particular video was called into question, the prosecution's like, "We don't see what the big deal is. It's not even the best version of that video." It's like, "Then why are you fighting?"
Actually, that's not even true because they literally said uh, when they were playing the video for the jurors, they said, "Well, our video's clearer,"
I know.
and it's like, hmm. So you
But
know
when
about it. The reason they did that was to, and this is why I believe it was uh, altered, simply just because not altered, but just condensed and whatnot, and that kills the quality, you know.
Mhm.
But it just makes
Well,
sense
well,
that
but
that's
here
exactly what happened.
Well, but here's the thing too, and putting the conspiracy theory cap on, like at that distance, it wouldn't be that difficult to alter the position of the barrel of the gun. It really wouldn't, especially with the number of frames that would take. I mean, somebody could do that in 20 hours. Absolutely.
Yeah, and did you hear the argument about the 20 hours?
That was fucking stupid. Well, and then plus two, he's like, it's
No,
peer
the guy's like,
reviewed.
oh, it's 20 hours. I mean, he worked hard. He gave several different videos. It's like, dude, he cut and pasted. It doesn't take fucking 20 hours.
Well, no, and then the defense brought up a really good point, which I think, regardless of how this verdict goes, should be brought up in other criminal cases. It's like you only had one person working on this video.
Yeah, while you should have had multiple, because the thing is, they got to come to a conclusion.
At least two, just to see, because like you can fuck around with video to a ridiculous extent,
but a fresh set of eyes can always catch something. Or
well, what you got to do is you got to have two different people take the same video and do different things to it, and then you compare the results. And that's the problem with these video enhancement programs, because like I got into this before, the instant HD program, it legit adds pixels. Yeah. And sure, on a home movie, no problem. But in a criminal investigation,
exactly, you're like almost saying what the guy said,
which is a valid point. Yeah. It's a valid point. And again, the burden of proof is on the prosecution. It's not up to the defense to disprove the prosecution. It's the other way around.
I love the prosecution's like deflection on that. They're like, well, I mean, can you prove it? And the judge, I think was it the judge or was it the other?
The judge had to constantly remind them.
It's up to you to prove without a doubt. And I want that judge to just be like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
I think he's going to. I think if they come back with any guilty verdict, he's going to throw it out on a mistrial.
I think if he does mistrial, he's going to come back with a different prosecutor. He's not going to let him to do it again. Is that up to him?
No, he doesn't choose the prosecutor. In fact, he doesn't even choose his cases. But here's the thing, and this is why, if I'm that judge, to me, this is all prejudice, because they had to call in the National fucking Guard to make sure they don't set the city on fire if he's acquitted.
Because of this case. If they would have been there in the first place, wouldn't have happened.
Well, but that's the definition of prejudice.
That's also the definition of fucking, I told you so.
Well, I even said it, I've criticized Kyle Rittenhouse, like he shouldn't have been there. But at the same time, it was a failing of every single adult in the area, in his life. No adult came by and said, yeah, you probably shouldn't go. In fact, I'm telling you, you can't go.
I don't even care if he was there anymore. Like I said that from the get-go. I said he shouldn't have been there, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? So many other people were, so I'm not gonna state that anymore. So because it's neither here nor there. Because the thing is, the dude was actually there doing good stuff earlier that morning. He was cleaning up graffiti off of
right.
Off
that's
school,
I'm not talking like about that.
They spent like 2 hours
fine.
there.
That's all fine and good. I've got zero issue with that. My issue is with what he did, and this goes into kind of a broader moral dilemma. And this is the only thing I think Kyle Rittenhouse did wrong, is the fact that he was in such a hurry to matter that he didn't go through the adequate preparation to do so. And what I mean by that is, like, he wanted to go be a medic. He had very little training. He was not qualified. What if he had come across a gunshot victim? What was he going to do?
Well, the kid seemed, I mean, with the way he talks and whatnot, I think he kind of has a little more sense because, I mean, have you met some 17-year-olds nowadays?
Oh yeah,
they have no sense. Like they're
no, I'm not saying he didn't have sense. What I'm saying
is he has enough sense to say, hey, I am not prepared for this. Let me try to find you somebody.
But an EMT should be able to give at least.
But he's not an EMT. He said that.
But he said he was.
Not to anyone hurting.
Yeah, no. Oh no, not to anyone. Well, that's a slippery slope, because when you're out there.
No, I mean, no one ever heard him say that. They never said someone's down on the ground with a gunshot wound going, "Help me, please! Are you EMT?" That's what I'm talking about.
Well, so yeah, but
I'm saying, he was just walking around, and like I said, I agree with you. He shouldn't have said he was. He should have said, "Hey, I know basic first aid. I can try to help."
No, he was walking around literally.
Because all he had was gauze, and then saying medical and
Yeah, meta.
yeah.
That's the thing. It's one thing if he's got first aid training and he stumbles across someone.
Right.
That's one thing.
But he also had a fire extinguisher too. So I mean,
Correct.
He was trying to put out fires. Oh man, with what
Which
that
is
fucking idiot said in his closing argument, like he lit a fire in a metal dumpster. He pushed over a porta potty with
did
no one
anyone
inside of it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, and here's the other thing that I wish someone else had pointed out. Yeah, I watched the video where he lit that metal dumpster on fire. Do you know where that was?
Near the car source,
Next
correct?
next to a fucking gas station.
Oh. Yeah, and then he's trying to put it out, and then he gets attacked, right? No. He gets chased off.
Different incident, but the incident where they confirmed Rosenbaum was there was they were pushing that dumpster that they just lit on fire
to block the.
No. They were pushing it. They were pushing it in towards the gas station. You're thinking of the one by the car source, I think.
So if he wouldn't have been there.
And then they proved that Rosenbaum was there.
I'm not talking about
by the car source.
I'm talking Kyle. If Kyle was.
Oh no, this was a different. Other people put that fire out. But my point being, the guy's acting like these fires are no big deal. It's like, yeah, the fires are no big deal because people were putting them the fuck out.
Yeah, and the thing is, people that were putting them out were getting attacked.
Correct. The only reason those guys in the incident I'm talking about didn't get attacked is because there were 3 of them and they were armed.
Oh, weird. And
that's the video.
And that's why Kyle had a fucking gun, because he knew better.
That's the video where they're talking about where Rosenbaum's like, shoot me.
Inward.
Yeah, well,
he did. And it's like really, I hate it when white people say that. Like say it like that.
Trust me, I know.
I'm just like, really, dude.
I don't like that fucking word.
I don't really care. I at the end of the day, it's just a word to me. But the thing is, people get offended.
It's
they can say
it's
all the things they want to white people.
Well,
and I'm not talking about just black people. Well, I mean, we can't do anything about it. But yeah, if it's the other one, it's
let's be real though. Like what can somebody say to a white person that's truly insulting racially?
That's the thing, because we don't give a fuck.
Well, that and there's no historical.
You call me fat, I'm gonna punch you in the face. No, I'm just kidding.
It's got nothing to do with race. It's got everything to do with body positivity.
Diabetes.
No, I mean, I don't want to get off topic too much here, but just
no, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, it's not important. I won't get into it because it's also one of those things like 2 white guys talking about the N-word. It's kind of like, okay, who gives a fuck? Nobody cares what we think about it. Nor should they.
But there's a lot of people on the other side. I'm not going to say anything, but they're saying, I don't really care.
Yeah, it's like...
It's only the SJ Dubs.
The SJ Dubs.
But anyway, so Kyle, if he didn't have a weapon, who knows what would have happened. Trying to put out a fire. He would have gotten beat.
So that's another example of the adults failing him.
Roasted like a weenie. Yeah, because the thing is, like, he shouldn't have felt like he needed to be there. And I mean,
they called him and told him to go there
because there was a fire, right?
Right, because
he had an extinguisher.
No, he had to get one.
He called him. Well, I know. Well, he had one. He had one prior during the day when he was cleaning the graffiti. So that's what that confused me.
No, what happened? He left. He didn't have an extinguisher when he was going out and seeing if anybody needed medical. What happened? He got the call, and he was around a group of other people close to that gas station. I don't think they were it was some church or whatever. I'm trying to remember. But he asked somebody if he could have a fire extinguisher. They gave him one. He asked if somebody could go with him, and nobody did. So that's why he was alone at that very moment, because he couldn't find his buddy, whatever his name was. The big dude who was fucking looking for trouble.
Oh, Bolsack.
Bolzer. Yeah, whatever
fuck
his name was.
Fuck around and find out, and then literally they were like, dude, chill.
Yeah, he was looking for trouble.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, at the end of the day, that piece of shit basically, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say he turned on Kyle, but he
He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
He just wanted to go out there and try to look and act tough.
no, I mean he was protecting himself. Didn't they call him as a witness?
At one point, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, and then he completely like just didn't throw Kyle under the bus necessarily, but certainly didn't help all that much.
yeah.
Ah, well, fuck that guy. But then the fucking car source guys, I love how in the closing statement the prosecutor's like, and the owners of car source weren't even there. Motherfucker, they paid them. Of course they weren't going to be there. They weren't that fucking stupid.
He only paid black.
I know.
The other guys were just there.
Right, but don't tell me
maybe those other people on top of the building.
He paid somebody for protection. Well, that's all I know.
And the funny thing is, everyone's like, "Oh, I mean, what's the big deal?" The night before, on the 24th, their first one was burnt down
to the ground.
You don't think they want to fucking protect the other two fucking streams of income they have?
Well, maybe if you insure your shit for arson, you don't have to worry about that.
And then on the 24th, I mean, what was that one guy trying to protect a store and ended up getting his jaw broken?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like, you guys are demonizing people who own businesses for trying to stand up for their businesses, and yet you're trying to call the people protesting.
Well, but then in the next breath, they're like, "There's nothing wrong with people protecting their businesses."
Yeah, and it's like, oh, but I mean, you shouldn't be letting them do that. It's like, where's the guard? It's like, hey, keep it peaceful, or we will not be so nice.
Are you really telling me, based on that one video, the one by Car Source, you're really telling me that if they didn't have guns and were standing there, they wouldn't have fucked up that building? Really? Come on.
This prosecution gives me such
in the words of the judge, come on.
I like him though.
But that should have ended it right there.
You know, the funny thing is, this judge is actually known for being on the prosecutor's side most of the time.
That's what I've heard.
And the thing is, in that, like, he's very fair, but he's like,
I find him extremely fair. This case is just fucking obvious.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, oh, you guys don't want more rioting and looting, so you're going to try to put a good kid away for doing something
as opposed to locking up the arsonists and looters.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, Binger is going to prosecute the fucking arsonist case, and I'm like, oh boy, you better go in hard on him.
Yeah. How much do you want to bet they're going to come to a plea deal on that one?
Oh, I forgot. Gage Grosskreutz. Grosskreutz, whatever his fucking name is. That shit's retarded. I'm sorry. But anyway, 4 months after the incident in the 25th, when he got his fucking arm blown off by a brave soldier. No, just kidding. I'll take away Hassan Pikers. Anyway, got a DUI, right? Did you see that? Afterwards, he got a DUI. Get this, man. I watched the whole video, and this guy literally was like this on the steering wheel, and the cop walks up, and he's just like, "I don't want to reach for anything, sir." Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, oh my god. I'm like, seriously? Like, a cop's not gonna shoot you for fucking being pulled over. I was like, you're white.
I assume he had a dash cam or something.
And that was a bad joke, and that didn't mean anything like that. I'm just saying the guy's white. You know,
it's the same joke that an SJW would make.
Exactly.
Except they wouldn't be joking. They would.
But anyway, so he's sitting there, and he's like, okay, well, you got ID on you? And the guy's like, I don't answer questions. And he's like,
oh,
well, he goes, you didn't signal back there. And then he goes, and the guy's just being an asshole. So he pulls him out of the car, and he goes, well, I can smell alcohol on your breath. And he asks him to do a sobriety test. He refuses, sits down. So I'm just like, okay. So, and then the guy's like, well, I mean, you're refusing to ID yourself. And by that time, he's got his name Gage. Which, by the way, did you know that I'm pretty sure it was Gage, Grosskreutz or whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah, it's Gage.
He gave a false name when he was in the hospital.
Yes, I heard that.
Yes. Now get this. Back to the DUI. Refused to ID himself. You know, during the cop thing. Well, anyway, so they take him in. They test. They actually take him to the hospital to get him a blood test. They take him back to jail. He gets charged. Guess what happened? The
Charges were dismissed.
The DUI was thrown out on a technicality. That sounds a little suspect with everything going on at this moment.
I'd like to see who the prosecuting attorney was on that one.
And that's exactly why I said I don't think Binger should be the prosecutor in that fucking in that new case with the arsonist.
I doubt. Oh, well, in the arsonist, I think that's already in the works.
He already said he's going to prosecute it.
Well, and then the other thing, the one time the judge did stop his closing statement was when they were rebutting the defense and basically said that because the defense kept talking about it, it's like, you know, you keep talking about the Zeminskys, why didn't you bring them in? And they're like, well, they had a Fifth Amendment. Except you could.
No, the defense couldn't bring them in.
I know, the defense said they couldn't, but the prosecution said because we can't. They have a Fifth Amendment right. And the judge is like, you control that. You can grant them immunity if you want to call them in as a witness. And, I mean, he was like, I think at certain points in this trial, the judge was just stunned to see the level of ineptitude coming from the prosecution side.
I'm surprised he hasn't said, you need to, like, go back to school. I don't understand why it's still going on. I think this trial is probably going to happen because these jurors can't get their fucking heads together anyway. It's been 3 days. 2?
I listened to Ben Shapiro talking about it, and I kind of agree with what he said to a certain extent. There's probably 1 or 2 people in the jury that are like trying to fight for some kind of conviction, but here's the thing.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and I think what you said is accurate, that the judge is waiting for the verdict to see whether or not he's going to give it a mistrial, because I think what he's trying to do, I think he understands that there, like it or not, there is political pressure on this case. I think what he'd be trying to do is.
Sos is about to comment.
Oh, I'm getting the sense that he doesn't want, like, I don't think he thinks Kyle Rittenhouse should be convicted, at least not on all counts. I mean, he threw out the gun charge, which in my opinion was the only thing that could have stuck.
And
now, granted, the judge didn't do that. Oh, the curfew charge was thrown out almost immediately, but and the gun charge didn't get dismissed because of the judge. The defense did research and figured out he didn't break the law. But I think what the judge is trying to do is, like, if there is an acquittal, he wants to show it that it went through the process.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that will do anything, but
another thing that's going to give this case an extreme mistrial with prejudice is MSNBC. Did you hear about that?
I don't know that that'll get him a mistrial, but that's certainly, yeah.
I'm not saying it's solely going to happen. I'm just saying add to the bullshit. Because the thing is that they were trying to fucking track down the jurors, and there's already been a case before, not a case before, but what was it, last
an
week?
Incident.
Yeah, an incident. Somebody. Yeah, and somebody actually named a couple of the jurers. I think they recorded a video, and then luckily the police saw it, and they made him. Yeah. Well, MSNBC is under fire right now because of it.
They should.
Yeah, and. You just totally had auto-tune right there in my headphones. It was like, they should. Anyway, so the MSNBC, the guy was like, I was just doing my job. I was told to come here. And it's like, you were told to run a red light. You were told to fucking try to take a video of pictures of people that are inside a fucking blacked out fucking transport vehicle.
That are members of a jury, that are members of a jury in an ongoing trial. That are meant to be
anonymous?
No, dude. Fuck off.
No, and then because he thinks he's not going to get any trouble. It's like, you were there, and it's like Hitler told his fucking cronies to do their job, and guess what? They did it, and they still fucking were brought up on war crimes. I was just doing my job is not an excuse. Sorry.
Well, actually, it was for a lot of people.
Some of them. Yeah, like
Von
Braun.
No, you're talking about the higher ups. Basically, the entire regular German army didn't so much get off as it was just like, okay, well, yeah, and to a certain extent,
because there was a lot of people.
Right. I think the controversy comes from because I mean,
this is kind of a different.
We're getting off.
No. I was just gonna say this is kind of a different situation. Yeah.
Like I don't like Heinrich Himmler can't say he was just following orders.
Heinrich. Oh shit.
Even though he tried to surrender, so theoretically, if he pulled it off, he would have probably gotten immunity.
Yeah,
But
it's crazy how Werner von Braun went on to develop all kinds of crazy technology. Well, not technology, but rocketry for the United States, and yet he was working for the Nazis.
which is the only fucking reason he didn't get executed.
Exactly, and he's lucky, you know.
But that's an interesting thing though, because if you think about it, it's like, yeah, he probably should have been executed, but then at the same time, the fact that the United States came out on top in the space race probably prevented another world war.
Yeah, because honestly, it diverts people's attentions, you know, and they're like,
Well,
"Oh
it's not
wow, look
only
at this!
that, because
This is
at the
amazing. This should bring us all together."
well, it's not only that, the Soviets saw, like, holy shit, the United States, they're they've beaten us at the game that we were winning. So you're less likely to, and plus, I'm making it sound like the Soviets were like just waiting to launch nukes, and that's obviously not the case because they had the red phone for a reason. But I would still make the case that it avoided conflict, at least that the United States ended up coming out on top of the space race.
That's what I think. This is kind of fitting for my Aurora Borealis, but I think the next thing that would bring us together would be an alien invasion.
Yeah, well, that's essentially the
I know
plot
it's
of Watchmen.
sci-fi, but I mean, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I mean, let's be real though. Let's be real about that. Like, let's really just think of the law of averages here. You know, how many planets are in our solar system? 8. Yeah, there's 8 now. They took Pluto out.
Please, Hitman says, please let there be aliens for real, dude. I'm
Oh
so
no,
with
legit.
you. Tom
Hear
DeLonge is
me.
my hero.
No, hear me out. Seriously, this is like people always ask me if I believe in aliens, and I'm like, yeah, but probably not in the way you think. But let's be real. There's one planet currently in our solar system that supports life, and it's a shit ton of life. Like,
That we know of.
yeah. Well, okay, I'm getting to that.
Which
There
planet?
are Earth.
Oh,
There are
well,
there are hang on. There are 2 other planets that have all the indications that they at one time could have supported life, that being Mars and Venus. Venus not anymore, but they suspect that at one time it was very Earth-like. Mars potentially had water. There's even speculation that some of Saturn's and Jupiter's moons could support life beneath the icy surface. But then let's think. I mean, I can't even count how many stars are in our galaxy alone. I mean, a metric fuck ton. And even if 1% of those had planets orbiting it, if only 1% of the stars had planets orbiting it, and 1% of those had a planet that could support life as we know it, that's still a fucking staggering amount of potential planets that could foster life.
you want to know something really crazy?
What's that?
All the stars and the systems of everywhere and everything that's going on in this entire universe, and yet Binger, we have Binger. we have Binger and the big guy.
Should somebody tell him that haircut's been out of style since 2004?
Seriously, have you? Speaking of UFOs and stuff like that, what's the show? I can't remember what TV. I can't remember what channel, not channel, but network it was on. But it was Project Blue Book. Did you ever hear of that or see of it? One of the main character that played the doctor on there to he basically was handed these things to discredit them, but anyway, the doctor on there, he could literally play Binger. And if they end up making this a movie or something like that,
oh man, can we please get the Lifetime version of the Kyle Rittenhouse movie?
You know
please.
What? I'm gonna find his face and I'm gonna screen share it. Project Blue Book, because I have to say it as I'm typing it out. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. How do I? There we go. Can you see him?
Yep. Yeah, I could see that. Oh, and it was on history apparently.
Yeah. All right. So, yo, dude, that show's fantastic.
Yeah, but let's be real, they're gonna get Stanley Tucci to play Binger.
Hitman says, "Are you guys excited for the launch of the James Webb Telescope?" I haven't heard anything about it.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and I
I'm
know that's probably embarrassing.
Yeah, I should, considering I will look it up.
You should enlighten us, good sir.
It's going to take 30 days for this telescope to travel 1 million miles to its permanent home. Holy shit, that is booking.
Where's it going?
I don't know. It will orbit the sun at the second Lagrange point L2. Wow. Damn. Should have been paying attention to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm one of the proponents of, I think it's one of the few things that the government should like jumpstart fund is pump more money into NASA.
Right. I mean, and the thing is, I mean, it's taken a billionaire to reinvigorate people to
Well,
go back to the stars.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a side effect of that is the government's just going to shrug their shoulders and be like, okay, well, the private sector's doing it, so we don't have to fuck with it. The problem is...
That's the thing, though.
Like,
the private sector, they won't get caught up in bullshit and political, bullshit. They'll just
well,
like,
but space exploration is one of those things where you wouldn't think it would get all that political. I mean, let's really look at it. Think about how quickly we put a fucking human being on the moon. Like, let's be real. It was inside of a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a full 10 years. We went from the V2 rocket, which could barely get from Germany to England. And I'm going to round it and say it's about 20 years. In 20 years, we went from that to putting motherfuckers on the moon.
All right. We're diverting. Let's get back to no. I would love to go down this rabbit hole, but we've actually had some decent viewers pop up and then pop out. So
you come for Rittenhouse, but you stay for the bullshit.
Yeah. A hitman did say it's a telescope that can see past the red shift, meaning the distance for light to travel. You have to look back in time, and over time, light from galaxies stretches into infrared. Nice.
Cool shit.
I still slightly don't understand it.
It can see things real far away.
Yeah, well, it's basically a different way of seeing it, because of our means that we have now. It's just it's like a filter, or non-filter.
More like just a better lens.
Yeah.
A filter, just like they used in that fucking video in the Kyle Rittenhouse case to bring it back full circle.
I still think it's crazy though, man. Like, I think that the evidence was manipulated, man. And I don't think it was like meant to be like crazy, like manipulated. I think it was just manipulated to just have them not have a strong defense against that video.
I was even thinking as I was watching more testimony.
Doesn't even show anything fucking good.
I know. I still can't see it.
I've watched it online. Like I
still can't see shit until Kyle's like past the point that they're talking about.
He said Kyle has 100% self-defense. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's disputable. But here, did you catch the nonsense about him saying there's no such thing as a left or right-handed gun?
Oh my fucking god! My brain exploded. And I was like, so you're telling me that gas comes out of whatever side you're on the chamber. I was like, guns are designed a certain way. They have left
Well,
left hand.
rifles, yeah.
I was like, dude, can you? And then he holds a fucking gun up in a court and puts his finger on the trigger. And the funny thing is,
He wasn't even holding it right.
didn't even check it. Listen here,
No,
Mr. Baldwin.
he had it. He had it checked. And granted, I'll give a little bit of a
Hold on a
pass on
second
that.
though. He had it checked, right? Did we see that? Did we see that on camera? Did they say, hey, can you check that? Because when the okay, well I was gonna say, because when the defense picked it up, the judge literally said, check it again.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying, because that's what you should do. That's what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
But if the judge has some semblance of gun safety from the look of it, well, and the other thing too, what Binger should have done, and again,
did he yell at him when he put his finger on the trigger?
Okay, here's the thing. I didn't know he put his finger on the trigger, because from the judge's perspective, you were looking at his back. I didn't know he put his finger on the trigger until I saw the still photo.
Right, and then on top of that,
I sent you.
I mean, when Kyle's walking around all night, other than when he had to shoot people, his fucking finger was outside of the thing where it's supposed to be.
Right. Like, and this some people might think this is silly, but so he theoretically, even though it wasn't on camera, he has to check the gun, but like he still should have.
That's right. Hitman actually just brought something back up. Gage Kroskreutz, or whatever his name is, his concealed carry was expired, so he actually broke the law. Why isn't he brought up on charges?
I believe he got immunity for testifying.
That's fucking bullshit. And then on top of that,
not really, because let's be real here.
He said I think Kyle had more trigger finger discipline than the state.
This is true. This is 100% true.
Binger, because man, I'll tell you what, he'd probably shoot Kyle, little bitch.
That might. It just, I'm glad this didn't happen, but would it not have been just undeniable poetic justice if there had been a round in the chamber and he shot somebody, especially in the jury? Did
you hear about the already outside of the courthouse, people getting into fights?
Yep.
And I watched the video. A fucking grown man, white,
of course,
tried to hit a lady. Of all people, because of what her fucking sign... I don't know what her sign said. I didn't really read it. But I'm just like, really, dude?
Well, you know what?
That ties... for NYC says, what happens if Kyle is found guilty? If he's found guilty, probably with everything going on, they're going to appeal. Mistrial.
Well, yeah, in this case, I think they're probably going to mistrial, but at least they're going to appeal.
Yeah, I saw that too, Hitman.
That one guy threw the...
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, fellas, welcome. Yes. I don't think we've met either one of you yet.
If you are fellows, we don't discriminate.
Yeah, if you are fellows, it is the internet after all. No, but this ties in this ties into something what you just talked about. The guy outside ties into something I recently heard Jordan Peterson. Well, and I say recently, like with him being in the last year and a half.
It's crazy.
That I heard Jordan. Well, I heard Jordan Peterson say it, and it really resonated with me. And actually I have the direct quote that I'm going to dig up because it just hit me and I'm like, that's so fucking true. Let's see here. Oh, it's at the bottom. That's why. Here.
Dude, Hitman, I have been watching it like crazy. I've been driving my wife and kids insane. Like I walk around with my phone up to my ear and I come in.
I've been doing that too. Okay. So the quote is, if you agree. What'd he say?
It's so outrageous. It's so outrageous that Kyle was even charged. I'm like, because with all the evidence, it's clean and clear self-defense. Like,
the only reason this is at trial right now is, well, but that's what I'm saying. The only reason this is at trial right now is because of the political nature of it. But anyway, this quote is, if you think tough men are dangerous, wait until you see what weak men are capable of.
I don't get it.
So what it's saying is, like, if you're
sorry,
are you being real?
Yeah, like you said, if tough men are courageous, wait till
no, that's not what it said. It said, if you think tough men are dangerous,
wait
until you see what weak men are capable of. because citing the example you were just talking about, oh, big tough guy, right? So you have to go hit a woman.
Pretty much.
The cliche, why don't you go pick on someone your own size? Because he fucking can't.
We have Sam. The prosecutor has zero training with any weapons. How can he do his job in this case professionally then?
Fortunately, he wouldn't have to have firearms training, but one would think he would call a witness that does. Oh, but wait, because Kyle didn't do anything wrong with a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have firearms training, I highly suggest you don't pick one up and point it at people to make your point.
With your finger on the trigger.
It's kind of like having zero experience with fencing and challenging a world champion to a duel.
I challenge you to a duel. Do you accept or yield?
Because I am in the right, sir. And you will be killed. Or at least injured, because, I mean...
Oh, jeez. I mean, it's insanity what's going on in that courtroom.
It's a kangaroo court. It's fucking ridiculous. Hell, it's compelling enough to watch.
I 100% agree with you. I'm just going to call you Brock. He said he pointed the weapon at people to get us, and he said it was the desired effect that he wanted. And it's absolutely true, because I guarantee it invoked emotions. And they're like, oh my gosh,
100%.
This is what they must have felt. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like...
Except if you knew anything about fucking guns and you knew it wasn't loaded, that thing's about as dangerous as a twig.
Unless you hit him with it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can hit...
Absolutely.
You can hit somebody with a stick. You can hit somebody with a skateboard too, but apparently that's not dangerous.
Were you the one that said this? Hitman just said that some of the protesters outside the courthouse had victims' photos next to the words "heroes."
I didn't say it, but the prosecution did.
Oh, okay, yeah, heroes. Like the guy who raped over 10 kids anally. Just gonna say it again.
I don't. Oh yeah, I guess he did call Joseph.
I'm sorry, kids. I'm sorry, kids. Boys.
Well, they are kids.
I understand, but
here's the and this is absolutely fucking ridiculous. But I mean, let's just like Rosenbaum assaulted boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we know he wasn't trying to sexually assault Kyle?
Exactly. It's like, dude, I got a 5-year-old and a 5-year-old son, and I'm telling you what. Anything remotely inclinant to that, like, it wouldn't be like a. Nah, I'm not gonna put this out here. This is the internet's forever.
I don't think you got to. I think everybody knows what you're going for, and I don't think anyone would disagree.
That's the thing, man. Like, we shouldn't condone that ever.
No, and the fact that there are spheres of the very, 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 very extreme left that are tolerating it to a certain extent is just fucking mind-boggling.
Yeah, and then you give them, those children, they have issues for the rest of their lives.
Oh, 100%.
They never get over that.
No, how could you? I mean, fuck.
And the comments are blowing up.
I know, right?
Thank you, fellas.
Everybody remember to like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends. Because we cover all sorts of wacky shit, but it does seem like the political stuff does seem to get more.
It's just super popular right now. And,
and
of course, everybody's heated up about it right now because, honestly, after this one, it's going to be the 2022 elections. So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the thing is, with all the, I honestly think I don't necessarily like all Republicans. I like a handful of them, but there's going to be a wave. Oh
yeah, there's always a wave
because of exactly what's going on right now, and all these cities, there's always... Kenosha, fucking Portland, Seattle, and I'm like, these people are letting their cities burn. If this would have happened in, let's say, like a Florida city,
it wouldn't have happened.
Well, I mean, even if it started, the fucking National Guard. Which can they invoke the National Guard without approval?
Yes, but it has to be like it has to be. I'm not a professional. It has to be like a legitimate, like real emergency situation.
Well, I mean, they were gonna offer to. Was it the National Guard they were gonna?
Yeah,
offer?
it would have been the National Guard.
Okay,
yeah.
So let's just assume same situation. Blah. I mean, they'd be like, "Yep, get down here." You know,
Well, they called them.
They
called them,
they,
and
they,
they're
they
in
also wouldn't
Kenosha.
have they also would have just taken care of it themselves. They'd be like, "Policeman, do your job."
For real. And I don't think any policeman in Florida would have taken any issue with that.
Yeah, deadly force if you have to. I mean, that's just
Well,
the way
and
it
you
is.
don't even have. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, they wouldn't even have to, because the thing of it is, a strong police presence is more of a deterrent than anything.
Hitman says everything is at another tipping point. There's going to be another wave of craziness for sure. History repeats itself constantly. That is 100% truth.
Yep,
That is.
100%. Yep,
Oh,
that's the same reason. It's the same reason we're still having the conversation about communism being a viable option.
let's just not do disco again.
What?
Let's not do disco again.
Oh, it already came back, dude.
It came back and left, just like disco. Disco was around for a couple of years, and then it was gone.
Oh no, but it literally came back. If you listen to anything by Bruno Mars and don't think that's disco, like what the fuck?
I don't listen to Bruno Mars.
Well, I know nobody does anymore, but when he was at its height,
that dude has a good
disco.
voice.
Oh, 100%. But it's like this.
I'm not a
is
fan.
fucking...
I just say I think he has a good voice. I like one song. Shit. As I get older, I find myself listening to other stuff, and I'm like, why do I like this?
I know sometimes I'll come across a song that I'll just get super into, and then I'm like, well, why?
Hey, at least it's not Celine Dion.
Okay, fuck off. Celine Dion is the shit, okay? Especially that fucking guitar riff. You know what I'm talking about. It's only on the single version, by the way. The album version does not have it.
That's funny. I've actually been listening to a lot of older Chevelle, like
all the new listeners. Yeah, all the new listeners are like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" You have to go back and watch it.
Oh, I'm sorry if you do. I'm just kidding. Oh, geez. I don't know. I don't really have a whole bunch more to add to this.
I don't either, but I mean, just the
You can just go on and on and on about how much the prosecutors are idiots.
I mean, the prosecutors kind of remind me of our logo right now.
Hey, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the manipulated evidence? Supposed manipulated evidence.
Potentially, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what happened, but because I'm always between the two of us, probably the biggest difference between you and me is the fact that I usually blame like negligence and ineptitude before like actual nefariousness.
Well, the only reason I don't necessarily think that Krause was negligent or whatever you're stating was simply due to the fact that he was trying to make it known that the judge was technologically inept when he was saying about the pixels, and so that led me to the conclusion that he knows a little bit more than what he's letting on to.
Well,
I mean, he's not old, so I imagine he's probably like 37, 38.
You can still be fucking stupid when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I know, but the thing is, he doesn't seem stupid. Just with the way
he seems very stupid to me.
I'm sorry.
I mean, no, he seems very ignorant of technology from what I can tell. Like he has the average, like.
I think so.
I mean, well, yeah, but let's be real here.
He's a savant.
Oh, far from it. But I guess my point is, like, how many people do you know, even younger than us, that like they can use a laptop, but they can't tell you how it works?
Oh yeah, that drives me insane.
Like, I mean, just like especially they have no.
Me being in technology and what everything I've been doing and this and that and explaining myself 100 times about blockchains and this and that. And
well, I still don't understand that shit. But what I do understand is how video works.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So, but I mean, and I'm sure that the defense wanted to call their own expert to testify, and I believe he did. I just didn't get to see that particular portion.
Are you talking about when they were going over certain video, and they had people that was with the added pixelation. Now the thing is, when they added that other stuff into evidence, the drone video, they got a shitty video, so they were just like, this ain't going nowhere. And then they had a good video. If they would have had a good video, they would have had an expert look at it. And
that's what they said. They said, how could we object to something that we didn't know there was another version of?
Exactly.
And it was the prosecution was just stupidly trying to sneak it in, pretending like it wasn't a big deal.
Hitman says,
but like I said,
go ahead.
I was going to say, but like I said earlier, if it was no big deal, why are you fighting so hard?
You got your comments up? You go ahead and read it.
Yeah, I just got it. I have a DJI drone and the raw files. I would never be able to send over email. Thank you. Yeah, because this is supposedly a high definition video, right?
Well, they were using
That's why
they were using Gmail, which Gmail has a higher limit than
right.
like
But
Email.
I've run into issues with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's still. I think they struggled to send it uncompressed and gave up. Yeah, that's probably true too. And they weren't thinking. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this was so nefarious as it was just not giving a shit. Because he's just like, oh fuck it, I'll just
Well, I mean, and you briefly explained why the name could have changed, the file name on it. So. Exactly. Yeah. I 100% agree with that. They were afraid of the jury seeing an even better video of Kyle defend himself. I agree.
Which is why the defense is just like, we just want the same video.
And why wasn't the the autopsy, why didn't they check his fingers for soot?
I thought they did.
Well, supposedly they didn't. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. The gun. Why didn't they fingerprint it to see if his hand was on the rifle? They didn't.
Oh, that's right. That was the one part that they didn't swab.
And if they would have swabbed that and his fingers would have been on that fucking rifle.
Okay, we got something from Sam.
He says, do you think prosecution knew that their witnesses will lie under oath? It looks like prosecution wanted them to lie. I am talking about the property owners saying they didn't ask for protection. Oh yeah. I
don't know if that was so much.
Hold on. Did the property owners did they testify?
Yeah.
So I missed that. Damn it.
I didn't watch all their testimony. I watched enough to realize that these are some of the shadiest motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah, they own car dealerships. I'm pretty sure it was buy here, pay here's.
Shit, but I don't think they so much told them to lie. I think they asked questions in such a way that they wouldn't have to divulge the whole truth. But you can't avoid that in cross-examination, which is exactly what happened.
Well, supposedly Black was offered monetary gain for protection.
I think that was the Nick guy.
Balch.
But no,
I thought Black was called because Black knew the owner, because Black is several years older than Kyle.
I think he's a year older.
I thought he was.
I thought he was 18 at the time. Oh, you know what? You're right. He may have been. I can't remember.
But because Ryan Balch was older, correct?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think he was in his 30s.
Yeah, and he was just there that night. They just met him that night, I think.
Yeah.
Unless Black knew him.
No, I don't think they knew Ryan Balch. I think the only people that knew each other from that group were Kyle,
and we
Black,
both agree
and
that he was
Nick.
there looking for a fight.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Fuck around and find out. You know,
yep.
And I'm not, I'm like, whatever. I mean, he's just talking. I mean, he's just being macho. He's not pointing his gun at anybody. He's not trying to do anything. He's just being macho.
Did they identify the guy who was fucking around with the laser pointer, though? It was somebody on the roof.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is, I get that it's scary. You know, people are carrying guns and there's lasers. But you can definitely tell a difference.
The average person may not be able to, though.
I've never even shot a gun, and I can tell the difference.
We should put that to the test. Because I've never used a laser sight before, so I couldn't tell you. I honestly don't know.
That's the thing, though. We are going to film it one day. We're going to go to a range.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, we are. Just shoot the shit out of some guns. So you never shot an AR before?
I've never shot anything. I've shot a BB gun and a paintball gun.
Dude. ARs are so much fun to shoot.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, they're great. I fucking love them. I didn't think I was going to like it. No, I like legit, I didn't think I was going to like it. But, oh, I loved it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet. I can't wait.
Although I'm still to this day, like somehow, some way, I've never shot a handgun before. At least not that I can recall. It's always been rifles or shotguns or some things that
So you're saying that you didn't have a handgun and the only thing you had available was an AR-15?
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That prosecution just cracked me up.
Well, and that's the other thing is like Kyle's like, well, I'm not legally allowed to possess a pistol.
When he brought in Call of Duty, you and your
Oh
friend played Call
God.
of Duty, right? And he goes,
Oh
yeah,
Jesus.
it's a game
Fuck.
where two people. I'm not really sure I understand the question, and he's like, yeah, it's not real life.
Yeah, it's like, really? We already had this conversation in the 90s. We
Oh
figured it
shit!
out. By virtue of that, Mortal Kombat, oh, you better not let your kid get involved in mixed martial arts at all because somebody might rip his spine out and make a joke.
Hey, dude, I think Hitman's a hitman. He's got a Glock 21. Uh, I'm
Oh,
assuming
you got a 40.
and
Oh,
a 45.
no,
And he's
no
also got a
shit.
Romanian AK-47.
You got an AK? Is it fully auto or is it the modified?
Well, his girlfriend has an AK style 12 gauge.
What? Dude, where the fuck do you live? You're a lot of fun.
You guys in Russia?
Fucking probably. Oh, shit.
That's fucking sick.
Party at Hitman's house. So he's got the. So do you own any ARs or is that the list? Fuck me, that's a lot of fun. Those would be fun to shoot. I'd love to shoot a 45.
45.
Have not yet. I'm not a huge fan of shotguns though. I've shot a couple. I'm not a huge fan. I don't hunt or anything, so. And I'm never gonna shoot a clay pigeon ever again. Yeah, I know. That's well, if you were grandfathered in, it wouldn't be, but that's why I was asking.
He says he's from Maine.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not fully auto. That's legal. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you were reading it. My bad.
Yeah, it's illegal to purchase now, but before the assault weapons ban, if you owned it previously, you would be fine. Because I've actually this is so embarrassing. The first like non-single action gun I've ever shot was a fully auto. It had a fully auto setting.
What was it?
I can't remember. What he said it was. It was. He told me, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, because this is what he told me. It's basically the civilian version of the M16, but it was fully auto, so that doesn't make any sense. Or I should say, it had a fully automatic function. And then I've shot a Tommy gun before too. That was fucking fun.
Did you do the laugh?
Probably. I couldn't hear myself, but I probably did. I used to own a few ARs. Sometimes had problems. I know this. I've not had one single problem with my AK, and I've probably 10,000 rounds, no jams. That's pretty good. Yeah, I've never owned an AR, but I've shot other people's. I've shot a couple AR-15s and an AR-10. Twas fun.
Twas. Well, what else do we got here?
Guns.
Actually, guns and chips. Bold barbecue.
Guns and Ritos.
I still can't believe I paid $20 for 2 of these bags.
Why the fuck did you pay $20 for 2 Doritos bags?
Because it's bold barbecue, dude. America stopped producing them like when we were kids, and they were literally like one of the best chips I've ever had. AR-10 308 is sick. I'm assuming that's the
that's the ammo, yeah.
Ammo. Okay.
I don't know what kind of ammo he had. I'm assuming it was a 308 because it was fucking fun. But,
and the gun you were shooting.
Yeah, it was hilarious because he was like, "This was my ex-wife's stepfather." Yeah, my ex-wife's stepfather just randomly comes out. They lived in the middle of fuck nowhere in Alabama. He just comes out. He's like, "You want to shoot some ARs?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do."
Yes, sir.
And then he's we're just shooting the shit out of a stump, and then they had a really little daughter, and she comes out after we were done. She was like, she goes, "Daddy, don't kill it," and he's just like, "Well, sweetie, I think it's dead." Yeah, we fucked that stump up. A lot of fun. Loud as shit though. So he didn't have
nothing about ammo. Jake,
I'm not a savant.
Yeah, it's a nice word, huh?
Savant. I'm not an ammo expert. Any gun I've ever fired, like They're just like, here, shoot. I'm like, cool.
All right, yeah. I'm not gonna last much longer.
I know, right?
Oh yeah.
We shall see. I was kind of hoping we'd get an acquittal today so we could talk about that, but I guess we'll have to wait. It'll probably happen tomorrow. Knowing our luck.
I mean, they've already gone through what, two settings, and we haven't got a verdict yet. So I'm assuming obviously they're having trouble coming to
Unanimous decision. Like I said, there's probably one or two holdouts that are fucking closet lefties, but
there's food over there, fat ass.
I have a name.
Cat. Cat dog.
But yeah, it's decent length. And then we had YouTube trying to censor the truth. God damn it.
Yeah, they killed her freaking stream.
Yeah, I think we're get off here and I'll watch a little bit of Invincible again before I go to sleep.
Invincible.
Have you not watched it yet?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
are you talking about the movie?
No, the series.
Is it about the same thing?
No, I think you're thinking about Unbreakable.
Oh, my bad.
You're thinking about Bruce Willis. Movie. It's pretty good. No, I'm talking about the
fantastic trilogy.
Dude, you would love Invincible. It's right up your alley. You like The Boys, right?
Oh, I love that show.
It's you'd like Invincible.
I didn't want to say I love The Boys. My name's not.
I know.
My name's not Rosenbaum.
Ooh, it's not too soon.
It is not too soon. It's a while.
It's not too soon. If anything, it's too late.
Well, guys, thank you for popping in and chatting with us. We appreciate it. That was fun.
Come back next week every Thursday, and of course you can check out our official merchandise link down below, as well as our link to our audio streaming platforms. In case you can't check us out on the live broadcast, you can listen on the go, or as always, you can come back and rewatch the stream right here on good old YouTube. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
All right, later, Ben Shapiro.